Hello, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a dupes video. Now, these are not exact dupes. These are more similar products or similar aesthetic to more high-end expensive products. They are not exact dupes, but in some of these cases, the less expensive product I think is even better or just as good as the high-end product. And something to keep in mind too is that once you put makeup on your face, it doesn't look as different as perhaps in a swatch where, an eyeshadow is maybe slightly less blue than another one or whatnot. When it comes to foundations and primers, you can get very similar effects that are really not that noticeable. Like I said, these are just some affordable alternatives, not exact dupes, but I thought it would be fun to do, so let's get into it. Let me start with these lip liners, and these I would say are actually nearly identical. This is a Kylie lip liner, and the color I have is Iced Latte, and this is, I think this is BFF by Colourpop. Color-wise, you can tell they're not the same. This is BFF and this is Iced Latte, but formula-wise and packaging-wise, I mean, look at this. They are identical, and the formula is the same on the lips. Very creamy, very nice. If you've been watching me, you know that I love the Colourpop lip liners, and now that I've tried this Kylie one, they are identical. The Kylie one costs $12, and the Colourpop one is $6 or $7. Therefore, I would say don't buy the Kylie lip liners unless there's a color I guess you can't find in the Colourpop, but I like both of these, but these are nearly identical, therefore I would stick with the Colourpop. Next product, I would not say they're exact or identical, but I actually prefer the cheaper product more, and it's the aesthetic and vibe that's very similar, and I'm talking about the Colourpop Luxe lipsticks and this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. They both have gorgeous gold packaging. I mean, maybe, the Charlotte Tilbury one looks a little fancier, but the Colourpop is very weighted. This is also a little bit weighted. Formula-wise, though, I think these are better than the Charlotte Tilbury. I have the color Bitch Perfect in, I think this is the Matte Revolution. I'm not a fan of this formula. I think it's okay, but it's a bit dry and patchy. I can get it to work with a lip gloss on top, but on its own, it doesn't feel very nice on the lips, and honestly it doesn't look that good. Whereas the Colourpop ones, this is What's Your Sign, this is one of my favorites. It's more creamy, and they also have a blur one that is more matte, but even that one is more comfortable, I think, than the Charlotte Tilbury. Therefore, I feel like I have the same luxurious experience using this beautiful gold fancy lipstick than this one, but I actually prefer the Colourpop formula, and these are $7 and this is $34. This is something I definitely regret buying. It was something I definitely wanted because it was hyped up. And yeah, it's mediocre and Colourpop is better. Next item, I have not tried the high-end product, but I have seen a ton of people on YouTube say that these are dupes. Therefore, I'm recommending it for that purpose because that is why I bought this. This is the CoverGirl Illuminating Skin Primer. And I saw lots and lots of people say that this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Face Primer. Basically, dewy face primer. As you can see in here, it kind of has a sheen in it. And I really, really like this. I'm wearing this today under my foundation. And it is one that I can say doesn't make me look oily. I've said before, I have combination skin, and sometimes dewy primers just make my pores look huge and make me look sweaty. This, I love it. I have not tried the Charlotte Tilbury, so I don't know if they're exact, but I've seen a lot of people say that they're similar. Therefore, I bought this and I absolutely love it. Let's talk concealer. And I really think the CoverGirl, this is the True Blend Undercover Concealer. I think this is so similar to Shape Tape. And I've previously said that the e.l.f. Camo Concealer was similar to Shape Tape, but the more I used it, I felt like it was a bit more drying. This is super, super creamy. I would say the CoverGirl has slightly less coverage than Shape Tape, but not by a lot. I have really dry under eyes, therefore I've kind of struggled with these full coverage concealers, but not this one. It is so creamy. I love it. And Shape Tape I think is $27. This is around $9. I love the Tarte one and I would consider repurchasing it, but when I have this at that price, it's honestly just as good and I just feel like I don't need to get it. The other concealer, again, this is one where I have not tried the high-end version, but I just thought I would tell you because I saw multiple people on YouTube say that this is very similar to the Too Faced concealer. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I really enjoy this. Less coverage than the Tarte or that CoverGirl one, but I think that's kind of what people have said about the Too Faced as well. It's supposed to be a bit more natural, not so intense. And I gotta say, I really enjoy it. So with these two amazing drugstore concealers, one more full coverage, one less full coverage, they're both very creamy. They're not dry under the under eyes. I don't really feel the need for these high-end expensive concealers anymore. I think I may have mentioned in another dupes video. I do have a whole dupes playlist if you are interested, but the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter and Hourglass Luminous Light. And I use these both in the same way as finishing powder. I have found very few products that actually work as finishing powder on me. These are very hard to swatch because they are quite sheer of powders, but as you can see here, they're both very subtle champagne colors. But when I try to like blend them out on my hand, yeah, they just kind of disappear to nothing. These are not super pigmented. These are not blinding highlighters, but they are very subtle and they also work as finishing powder, or if you like a subtle highlighter also, you know, I definitely recommend these. But now that I have this used to be my holy grail. This is my second one. But now that I have this, if I do end up finishing Luminous Light, I don't know that I need to buy it again because I really get the same effect with this. I use this today. I use it to blend my highlighter and bronzer and blush kind of together so that it all is a bit more seamless and blended, and I just love that effect. I think these two are very similar type products. Last items I want to talk about, it's more of a brand that I have heard a lot of people compare to a more expensive brand, and that is Undone Beauty. And I've heard a lot of people compare this to Glossier, at least in the aesthetic and the type of products. Again, not exact, but I've heard a lot of people say that this is a more affordable version of Glossier. These three products were sent to me by Octoly for review, and I have really fallen in love with this brand, and it is so affordable. I have wanted to try Glossier for a very long time, but it is a pricey brand. For example, they have this cream blush, and this is supposed to be for lips and cheeks, and one is more sheer to more pigmented, and it is such a gorgeous cream blush. So again, this is not the same as Glossier because they have those cloud paints which are in a tube, but still it's that same aesthetic of more subtle makeup, more, you know, natural everyday, not super intense glam. But let me tell you, these products are really pigmented and nice. I was a bit weary because I prefer more intense glam makeup, and I thought this was going to be super subtle and not really showing up, but that really is not the case. I mean, this is just a tiny swatch of that cream blush, and it's so gorgeous and creamy. This highlighter I am obsessed with. This is so gorgeous and intense. I'm wearing this one today. Pretty blinding, actually. I mean, these products, they may be more intense than Glossier. I'm not totally even sure. Like I said, I haven't tried it. I've just seen a lot of other videos where people compared that. And then I have this eyeshadow palette, which is pretty neutral colors, but again, they are quite pigmented, as you can see there, and really nice quality. I have been really enjoying trying this brand. It's just so much more affordable. This blush is $14. This palette is $14. And this giant bronzer is only $10. I kind of can't even believe it. I definitely want to buy some products from the brand. Definitely on my wish list. I want to try more. I just really like it, and definitely has that more simple, you know, natural, subtle beauty, kind of similar to Glossier. Alrighty, so that is it for this video. I really think these are similar, but again, not identical products, but you could get similar looks, similar vibe to some other more expensive products. Let us know if you have some other dupes or alternatives to a very expensive makeup. That is it, and thank you for watching.